It is press and go.
Okay.
Okay, I'm here with Steve from Virginia, one of the members of Anonymous, I suppose. So what's going on here today?
Well, today we have the Million Mask March, as everyone is aware. We've come together with a lot of different groups. I always tend to refrain from referring to Anonymous as a group per se. To me, Anonymous is merely a concept. It's an idea that people share. If you ever notice the symbol of Anonymous, it's a man or a woman dressed in a suit, and instead of a face or a head, there's a question mark. Because if it's a group, who's ever heard of a leaderless group? It's conceptually boggling to most people's minds, and yet, to me, that's what Anonymous represents. The idea of it is the concept of people coming together without a head at the table or a head on the body, a controlling person. And it's a group a collective, where everyone's ideas and thoughts and opinions matter equally. And everybody puts their ideas on the table, their thoughts, their notions, and the group decides as a collective, like a hive, like a bee colony. I mean, there's a queen bee, but in our case, I guess we have our queen bees too. Don't we all, right? We're men. But yeah, it's just basically a concept where we don't have to have a controlling force. We don't have a military. We've come here armed only with cameras and ideas. And hopefully the same idea in heart, that we're all here on this planet. We all love each other. We all have to get along. We all have the same basic needs, whether it's a cigarette, a food, simple items in life to keep us going, to sustain us. And love is certainly one of them. And in this world, what I see is a lack of it. What I see is fear generated. We actually had some people come up to us on the street this morning, which was surprising. Rather than see a group of people with masks and things like that and think that we're quote-unquote terrorists, they were actually curious. They were genuinely interested. I'm sure being in Washington, everyone sees all the protesters that have been here anyway. It's nothing new to them, but to see people in masks after the LAX incident, it could be a little bit startling.
So what are some of the issues that you're seeing rise up to the top amongst the Anonymous collectives?
My sign, I've got a double-sided sign. Obviously, I've got a lot of issues. Some of them have warrants out for them. Just kidding. I am kidding. I'm here basically to protest the involvement of the NSA in our everyday lives. Not just our phone calls, our text messages. I mean, our speech right now is probably being recorded by who knows whom, other than us. I just think, and private corporations are being spied upon. Look what happened in South America. And, why is our government spying on oil companies? What are they doing with the information? Why is there a $52 billion a year budget for 2013 that we know of, thanks to Edward Snowden? That's just that we know of. Where's all this information going? Who's it going to? At what cost? It's costing a lot of distrust.
Any answers coming from the research with people that you know of?
Definite answers? Nothing's definite. There are only certain definites in this universe. That's not one of them. When you have a budget like that and you have a group of people like that are so secretive, it's really hard to put your finger on any one resolution or...
well, some of the problems.
The problems...
Like Occupy identified the Koch brothers as a major problem.
Absolutely. Of course. Look at the banking industry, the IMF. Absolutely. I mean, they're pulling the shots. Our government right here no longer represents the people. That really bothers me more than anything else. I mean, I grew up in the 70s. My family was so patriotic. We actually had red, white, and blue Christmas trees a couple of times. Unbelievable. Whether that's right or wrong or otherwise is irrelevant. The point being, the government no longer represents the people. They represent major corporations who are backed and funded by the banks, who have absolutely nothing to do with the government whatsoever. When the government's supposed to be of the people, by the people, for the people, of the people, that's not the case anymore. We know that. It doesn't matter who we put into office. Everybody runs for election promising change. Every single president. And yet we wind up with the same thing over and over again. We don't see change. So, my parents growing up through the, 40s, 50s, 60s, I came up through that whole revolutionary period. where people were taken to the streets of Woodstock too, and all of that stuff. Of course, they don't remember that, which is probably a good thing. That means they had fun. We're in a more sobering time now. You know, we're out here, we're not partying. We're serious about what we're doing. We're very serious. And a lot of people here have traveled from all across the country.
Yeah, I've seen people from Fargo and Germany and South America. Let me ask you this. Online, I'm starting to see, over the past week, I've seen people try and differentiate themselves from Occupy and Anonymous. Have you been seeing that? And where do you see the difference between?
I don't see a difference.
Okay.
I don't see, and people that try to distinguish and differentiate, that's because they have maybe a group mentality, they belong to a group, or, you know, I don't know, I can't speak for them. I can speak for myself, we're all together, right. As far as I'm concerned. There is no difference. Okay. We all have the same agenda.
Right. Yep.
No difference. We're here together, man. Like it or not, we might not agree on everything, and that's fine. What's wrong with that? That's what founded this country, disagreements. That's what makes, I don't want to be the same as everyone here. You don't want to be like, you know, I mean, we all wear the mask, so we're all anonymous, we're all the same in that respect, but we still have our own thoughts. We still have our own feelings, we still have our own ideas. And a lot of those are shared. Let's expound upon our similarities and focus on those instead of our differences. It'll be a better place to live.
Thank you, sir.